except the Yankton School Edition, Section 8, T93 North, R55 West of the 5th Prime Meridian, Yankton County, South Dakota. Address, north side of the 1500 block of Whiting Drive, Yankton, South Dakota. Justice and Michelle Hirschman, owners. Before I ask for a motion, I do see Mr. Hirschman's here. Would you like to say anything before we move? No? Okay, just want to make sure. Okay, so Commission, what's your pleasure?
Move to approve the motion.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Any discussion?
Should we hear from?
Oh.
Should we hear from our?
Mr. Beese?
Yep.
Yeah, good, sure, you bet.
Just cover it off for the
Fair
everybody
enough.
watching.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, Commissioners. Tonight, as mentioned, the rezoning is in the extraterritorial jurisdiction. So all ordinance amendments, all rezonings or ordinance amendments, this one includes the extra step because it's in the extraterritorial jurisdiction that we share with Yankton County. We also presented it to Yankton County for consideration. As you look at the request for a B2 rezone, you have to consider all of the potential things that might be built there. However, the applicant has indicated their desire to expand their existing business as well as the self-storage facility. You'll see later in the new business portion a request for a conditional use for that. Just note that the new comprehensive plan identifies this area for commercial regional. It's a good fit. This request is a good fit with that designation and a potential transition to likely residential occupancies to the north. We mailed notice, published notice. The staff received no feedback from the public. Both the Yankton City Planning Commission as well as the Yankton County Commission recommend approval. Staff recommends approval. As you know, the applicant is here if you have any other questions. Otherwise, I'm happy to answer any questions you may have.
So really what changes just in that?
The ag zone is exactly what it sounds like. Use is limited to agriculture related businesses. So this allows anything that's permitted in a B2 to occur in a B2. We're not at the point where we're doing a larger subdivision, platting additional property. When the applicants get to that phase, there'll be some additional considerations. But right now it's a rezoning of a small portion, just consistent with the zoning to the south.
Okay, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Beese? Okay, well, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Any more commission discussion? Okay, seeing none. Anyone from the public? Seeing no movement, roll call.
Sarda?
Aye.
Conkling?
Aye.
Hunoff?
Aye.
Mosier?
Aye.
Spencer?
Aye.
Benson?
Aye.
Birch?
Aye.
Brunick?
Aye.
Mayor Villanueva?
Aye, motion passes. Okay, number 2, under old business, the public hearing and second reading of ordinance number 1099, the 2026 budget ordinance. Consideration of memorandum number 25-160, the second reading and public hearing of ordinance number 1099, an ordinance to appropriate monies for defraying the necessary expenses and liabilities of the city of Yankton, South Dakota for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2026 and ending December 31st, 2026. And providing for the levy of annual taxes for all funds created by ordinance within said city. Now, as you can see, there's two parts. There's two parts to this agenda item. So the first one we're going to be voting on will be Part A, and then we'll be going to Part B. So again, right now we are just on Part A. Commission, what's your pleasure?
This Part A and Part B, can you clarify?
Well, the Part B of this is the consideration of resolution that would be the fiscal year budget and then directing the city manager to administer the budget as required by state law. And Amy, actually, if you'd like to touch on that, that would be wonderful.
Yes, thank you, Honorable Mayor, members of the Commission and public. So this does look a little different because typically we don't have two actions on one item, but the budget is one that we do. So the first one is the consideration of the actual budget. So that is as presented, the budget that was presented to you on the 18th, I believe was the date, and as is provided by staff to you in the packet as well as to the public on the website. So if there are any amendments to that, which get approval by the commission, that would require a second reading. So if that occurs, we'll talk through that process as well. But if the budget is approved as is, then it would be treated like a regular motion and a vote of each individual commissioner. The second part of the motion is adopting the budget and directing me to administer the budget. So that's a second step that says not only do you adopt the budget, but you are giving me the authority to administrate that. As you know, there's certain expenditures that we have to comply with state bid law and things of that nature, and we do that, but there's certain things that, once budgeted, the city manager can administrate. Yeah, but this is the resolution that allows the city manager to do that. Also, probably worth just restating that the budget is not the financials. The budget is the plan, and we hope that the revenue comes in that supports this budget. But I don't think it's gonna right now, as I see things. I hope so. I hope I'm wrong. But so there's a very good chance that departments are going to be tightening their belts here, and we won't be spending everything that's in the budget. We typically don't, but we may be looking at doing something different. But best case scenario, our sales tax will tick up, but I don't want. We talk about all the time, oh, it's budgeted. Well, just because it's budgeted, next year is probably going to be, we're taking a deeper dive and thinking, not only is it budgeted, but is the revenue there to support it? And is it a want, or is it something that we really need to do? Is it something that will, be a good investment into the future? So I'm happy to answer questions. Many of our department heads are here if you have questions about their budget. And of course, Lisa and Dwayne have a good handle on the budget too if people have questions.
All right.
Okay.
I would make a motion to approve the budget as presented.
A second.
Point of order, my light was on first.
Your light was on. That's correct. So Commissioner Conkling, what do you have?
So I'd like to move that we approve the budget with the following amendment. On the money given to Thrive, two conditions. All minutes that they have are posted on the Thrive website for all citizens to read, and all bids for projects are published in the paper so that all businesses can partake and not just Thrive members.
Okay.
I would second that.
Okay, so I have a motion and a second for Part A of this. So now you're going to have to restate that again for the record.
Move to approve the budget with the following conditions added to the Thrive donation. All minutes are posted on the Thrive website for all citizens to read, and all bids for projects are published in the paper and open to all businesses, not just Thrive members.
Okay, do you have that? Okay. Okay, so I have a motion and a second. Commission discussion.
Well, I would just say that I've always been an advocate for transparency, and Thrive does get 24% of their budget from the city taxpayers, $460,000. And I think a lot of the public would be interested in that information. If there's a need to redact any immediate, sensitive economic development leads, I think that would be acceptable, but the public's interested in gaining a greater understanding of how Thrive operates.
Okay, any other commission discussion?
Yeah, can we, I guess I'm trying to figure this out because, Ross, and maybe legally, is that even anything we can require or ask? I mean, that is.
That from a practical standpoint as a condition in which the money is released from the city. So it essentially functions similar to the way the motion was passed. I just don't know how that would become a part of the budget ordinance from a legal, technical standpoint. I've not seen this done this way before.
Any other commission discussion? Commissioner Conklin?
Yeah, so Commissioner Hunoff and I have asked for numerous different things, and there's no transparency on the part of Thrive. Besides the $460,000 they get money from the bid district, and they've received millions and millions of taxpayer dollars for their projects. This is a compromise. I'm willing to say, we'll give you the money, but you've got to be transparent. And I'm not speaking alone. I can tell you there are lots and lots of citizens that want this. They've all contacted me. And I think it's a fair request. If you're getting taxpayer money, you should be transparent on what you're doing for your business and how it's being spent.
Okay, any more commission discussion?
I've got a little bit different take on it. I talked to Nancy Winande yesterday on the phone for a good period of time. I think there's some compromises that can be made here that would be a little bit different than what is being proposed. Nancy had mentioned that anyone could be an individual member of Thrive, right? $120. My concern is that it's something that we vote on, and so I can understand the fact that I feel like I should be able to have the information of the minutes if I so choose.
You're a member of Thrive.
No, I'm saying that as a member of the commission, because I vote on the commission for the budget for Thrive. I feel like I should be able to have access to those minutes. So I sympathize with, right now, the way it stands, there's two people that are on the commission, and Amy as the city manager, who are part of the Thrive board and who have access to those minutes. I do think that everybody here on the commission should have access to those minutes. With talking with Nancy, she had mentioned that anyone could be a member for $120, okay? With that membership gives you access to the minutes, as my understanding. Access to the minutes and access to the minutes for the last 3 years, okay? So that's my understanding of this. And so my thought on this process was to fund at the 460, which is what we have talked about. But along with that, or as part of that, pay $840, which would be the cost of seven individual memberships to Thrive, okay? So that way, all nine of us on the commission would have access to those minutes. That would be a way that that everyone who's on the commission has access to the same information. So that's how I feel like I have legs to stand on as far as being able to vote. I feel like I need to be informed if I feel like I need to, right? So that's where I'm coming with this proposal. That I know it's not what you're proposing, Commissioner Conkling, but that would be my counter to that. I think that there can be transparency. Now, with that, you do have to sign an NDA, right? But you have access to those minutes, and then we as the nine of us, right, we vote on this budget, but we can have an informed vote, which I think is important. So that would be my counter to that. And I'd be, I'm sure you have counters to that, but I just wanted to state my point of view.
Commissioner Conklin, go ahead.
Your statement makes a lot of sense. Two things. First of all, I don't think we should have to sign an NDA. So that means if we find something that's not appropriate, we can't do anything about it. And citizens want to know. The second thing is, the city of Yankton is already a member, correct? They're listed on the website as a member of Thrive, correct? South Dakota Codified Law 4724-2. All books and records of a corporation may be inspected by any member or his agent or attorney for any proper purpose at any reasonable time. Codified law says we should have access to them. So I don't think we should have to sign an NDA, and I think that, according to this, we're a member, we should be able to see them whenever we want. And they're not cooperating with that. The other part of that is the codified law directly before that. From what I understand, they're not keeping minutes for their executive committee. Codified law 4724-1 specifically states that they have to keep minutes for all those meetings. So they're in violation of 2 codified laws.
Can I interrupt? Can we have one microphone at the time, and Mr. Mayor, you call on, because Mr. Conkling, you had your microphone on while city manager was talking, so then therefore you got called on first. Yes. I'd like us to make sure that we only have one microphone on while the people are talking. I think that's a fair thing to do for the commission.
Fair enough. Thanks, Commissioner Sarda. Commissioner Hanoff, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to echo what was said about the fact that I believe the city commission are already Thrive members by virtue of the city of Yankton being a Thrive member. So I don't think that $840, whatever it was, would be necessary. And I would also say that, that statute that I think Commissioner Conkling mentioned doesn't say anything about a non-disclosure agreement. And I don't know if you mentioned this, but this applies to nonprofit corporations. And this is certainly an example of a nonprofit corporation. Yeah, I mean, that's the point. If we would see something that we think, because the public contributes to Thrive, we think the public would be interested in knowing, that NDA would prevent us as elected officials from sharing that information. Again, I would say redact anything that's going to affect any economic development leads. Everything else, I think, should be open.
Commissioner Burnett, go ahead.
I had a statement about Commissioner Conkling. You had said that if you're signing an NDA, that you wouldn't have any say. So that was the statement as I understood it. However, we vote, right? We 9 of us vote, and in that form, we absolutely have a say, and that's why I feel like the 9 of us should have access to those minutes. I understand that the NDAs, and I can't. Everyone here has to vote the way that they feel comfortable, and feel like they have legs to stand on to support why they voted, because we all have to answer to the community and folks in the community as far as why you voted the way you voted. So I would be in support of us doing the $840 for the individual memberships. The reason for that is that the bylaws for Thrive state that members of have access. So it's my understanding, I'm sorry, as I stumble around here, I'm trying to make sure that I'm stating things correctly, that there are folks who are, so let's say there's somebody from Hedro who's on the Thrive board. So, shoot, this isn't the best way to go about this. Apologize. We have the 9 of us that are on the commission. The way that it's written in their bylaws is that members have access, and for us to all have access to it, because there are primaries, right? There's 2 commissioners and there's the city manager who are on the board, so they automatically